Alright guys, this is a 1990 XJ that I bought from a guy off Craigslist. He wanted $2,000 for it, and when I got there the radiator was leaking, or I guess I should say the coolant was leaking from somewhere, and it had a really bad miss in it, and I told him he was nuts for asking 2 grand, so I offered him 800 bucks cash on the spot, and he took it. And I went home and traced that coolant leak back up to a loose hose clamp on the upper radiator hose and tightened that up, and it stopped. And then I did a real quick check of all the plugs and found a fouled plug and pulled all the plugs and put new plugs in it, and it doesn't miss anymore. So pretty good buy, I think. It runs really good now. Haven't had any issues, doesn't leak any oil, was amazing. I thought I was going to cry when I realized it didn't leak any oil. But what he had on it when I bought it was he had the 31 10.5 15 Pro Comp tires on it, on 15-inch Krager rims, and a little 3-inch Rough Country lift. And so I left that alone because I like the height of it. The tires are okay. I do a lot of street driving here in town, and not so much up in the mountains like I'd like to be. But it works out pretty well. They're okay. They're brand new tires. He had the receipt for them still, and it was only like a month before that he'd put them on. So they were only about a month old. So it's a little bit dirty. But basically what I did and what I plan on doing is a short little series on the guys that want to do bed liner on their Jeeps. This will kind of cover you guys, and people that want to do DIY paint jobs. This will kind of cover you also, because what I'm doing is a half and half job. As you can see, I've got Herculiner bed liner down below the door handle there, and it runs all the way down the door panel, down onto the rocker panels, and all the way to the bottom of the body underneath. So it's totally covered underneath, all the way down. And then on top, what I plan on doing is just a quick spray job of using the Rust-Oleum Professional protective enamel paint, and it's an aluminum metal color, so it's kind of a gray, I guess is a better way to say that. But basically, when I got this thing, it was two-tone like that, black on the front quarter panel there, and baby blue everywhere else. The guy had taken it out and rubbed it up against the tree while he was off-roading, and took it down to a body shop and had him change just the panel but not do any paint to it. But I really wish you guys could have met this dude, because he cracked me up the whole time I talked to him. I couldn't help but giggle. He was a funny dude. But then what I did was I went and got some 1.25-inch EMT conduit, and what I did with that was I took it and I got some 1.5-inch 90 elbows, and I started off just trying to mock this thing up a little bit, and you can see this is 1.5 right here, and this is 1.25 inch, and then underneath the supports going across are 3/4-inch rigid conduit, for a little bit of extra strength. But I did a mock-up with this just because it was a lot cheaper than buying steel, and then I realized that I kind of liked the way it looked, so I may just leave it, sand it down, paint it, and leave it. Let's see, everything else is still stock on it, minus the lift and tires, obviously. Open 35 30s, 35 in the back, 30 in the front, and I think I am going to do new fender flares with everything. You can kind of see that everything's been kind of faded. I took some Armor All to this one just to see what I could get back out of it, and I think I'm going to do some new ones. I don't know if I want to spend the money just yet, though. I think I've got some other things I need to work on first. I need to get some things straightened out underneath this front one. That's where the front tire rubbed, and it was nice. I don't know if you can tell, but I rubbed some big old chunks out of my tire too, and kind of pissed me off. But other than that, everything else is stock on it. It still has the And I know right now there's already somebody laughing because of my sweet vents, but it still has the closed cooling system, and it does get warm. So what I did was start looking around for hood vents. And what I did first was actually look for somebody here in town that had a louver die, or a louver punch stamp, whatever you want to call it. And couldn't find anybody. Closest one was Denver. And I hate the city. I hate people. So I didn't want to drive to Denver. So what I did was went down to Lowe's, picked up some 5 by, I think they're 5 by 12 or 5 by 10 air returns that you normally would see in your house or in a building somewhere for air to get back to the AC and heat, your AC and heater system. But I used them for that. Definitely is not a looker, but you know what? They served a purpose and it kept the Jeep cool. So I'm totally fine with that. But what I plan on doing is I left the screws. These are just regular. I think they're like 5/8, just panhead Phillips, self-tapping metal screws. And what I did was I put them in far enough from the edge here that I can actually take the bandsaw and run the bandsaw right along here if I want to, and get them down flush on the hood. You know, to be honest with you though, when I put them on, I was like, wow, that looks really stupid. And then I started to kind of grow on me just a little bit, having that little bit of boxy definition, I guess you could say. I'm not a rounded car kind of person. I like the older, boxier style cars. And so I think what I'm going to do is just paint them black and leave them. So I'll have a nice gray paint from basically from here up will be a nice gray aluminum color with the black hood vents to make it kind of stand out. So we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go well, I'll pull them off. One thing I did, if you're looking for a quick fix like I was, just to try to get to where you could still drive your Jeep without it getting real hot, I did that, but I measured those holes to where I already know what hood vents would fit over the top of those holes if I were to buy some. So if I wanted to not look so, stupid, I could go buy those hood vents, and they would fit right over the top of those holes already. So just trying to think ahead. Really, like I said, that was a quick fix. The problem was I had a grinder in my hand and thought it would be a good idea. So we'll see how it turns out. But anyway, that's kind of that's the lowdown on it. If anybody wants any info on anything, whether it be how to do the roof rack, I know EMT is a hot topic on the forums right now, or has been, I'm sure, for a while, as to whether or not it really works. I personally think it worked out just fine. It may not be the greatest looking stuff. It may not be strap steel. It may not be tubular steel. It may not be, shoot, I've seen some guys build these things out of solid, 3/4 inch key stock, and I don't want to cave my roof in. But, if you're looking to do something on a budget that's functional, it may not look great, but I think you can make it look nice if you want. Shoot me an email or shoot me a comment, something, and I will get back to you on how I did it and what I did it with. But other than that, we'll let you guys know how things go and how they turn out.